that the first heat wave and now unseasonal rains, farmers are staring at losses. We'll in fact come to that issue. That has in fact been an issue. We've all been experiencing the heat wave conditions as well as the unseasonal rains. Now, Indian farmers are staring at huge losses. They've been scrambling to save their crops from uncertain climate. Now, according to a latest report by the IG Group, production of fruits and vegetables may decline by nearly 30%. The decline in production is likely to hit supply eventually, stoking prices of essential commodities. Joining us now to talk about the weather conditions and what can be expected in the next few days is Mr. G.P. Sharma, President of Met and Climate Change at SkyMet. Mr. Sharma, firstly, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you spending your time speaking on the subject. This is something that affects large swaths of land in North India. We're talking about millions of hectares here. First, give us a sense of your assessment in the days to come, the next week, 10 days. What is the likely rainfall looking like and how severe is it going to be, given that we are talking about unseasonal rains here?
Yes, the opening month of pre-monsoon, the March, that has been a very, very unusual, I will say, behaving abnormally. The first half was threatening to, as you specified, there's some heat wave conditions also were there in some parts. They turned suddenly, twisted, and then we had a lot of rains, hailstorm, many areas, particularly the agri bowl of the country, northwestern parts, central parts also. And the southern parts of the country also had some unusual weather conditions lasting for a couple of days. So very unusual March, I will say. The first 2 weeks, they were down by about 80% rainfall, but then covered up in the subsequent 2 weeks, went surplus by almost about 30%. So an outlier March, I will say. But then, as you said now, what is likely in the month of April, it is not looking as harsh as it was the second half of March for two reasons. Firstly, the second half of March and first few opening days of April, this is the typical harvest season for Northwest India, even I will say some central parts also. So it is a damage already those crops, be it the crops, be it the vegetables, be it the even I will say the most of the crops which are there in Kharif, they appear to have damaged over large parts of the country. This covers Punjab, Haryana, Delhi region, even Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. Hailstorm is a deadly combination with the strong winds to damage these crops, and all that happened. Not once. Sure. There were almost about more than 2 rounds over these parts. And the weather conditions, though they have improved a bit, but then still not very conducive for the crops as such. North India is raining today also. Okay, there could be some hailstorm in some couple of pockets as well. Tonight, evening, we can expect that. Obviously, it's not a welcome sign. But the first half of April, at least it will not see any heat wave conditions. The only thing, if it comes up, that could be possibly the second half when the weather condition seems to be improving a little and heating up over some different parts of the country. But before that, it's going to be rain in some pockets, taking turns, northern parts, central parts, even southern parts also will have this activity. Yes, Ashim.
Sure. Mr. Sharma, we're getting initial reports that the states of UP, MP, Rajasthan, as a collective, they're looking at about nearly 6 lakh hectares of land being affected by these unseasonal rains. What is your understanding of the likely damage as far as the crops are concerned? Which are the most likely to be damaged crops? And in response to this, what would be an ideal policy initiative to address some of these farmer concerns on account of unseasonal rains and damaged crops?
The damage on account of this weather activity, which I just mentioned, the hailstorm is the main danger for these crops. And along with that, as I said, the rains were also widespread over parts of actually Rajasthan area, which normally doesn't see such type of weather activity, parts of Punjab, Haryana, even West UP, and the hills also, Uttarakhand also. There was some heavy to very heavy rains also. It is unseasonal, untimely, and obviously leading to a lot of damage as far as the crops were concerned. You name a crop, a rabi crop, it is damaged over these parts. The only thing is, all the pockets, they haven't had hailstorm as such. So wherever hailstorm was there, that damage is possibly beyond even absorbed of the former as such. Whereas some other things which have gone a little better way as far as the weather activity is concerned, they may absorb that shock as such. As I said, all the crops in all parts, particularly starting with Punjab, Haryana, coming down to Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and then further eastward parts of Chhattisgarh, Bihar, and West Bengal, they are in the gamut of this, which have been suffering a lot of losses on account of this crop loss. And as I said, the only relief is that heat wave is not there, which was threatening earlier that we'll be screaming as far as the heat is concerned, above 40 degrees for extended number of days. So that is the only respite, but then obviously it's not a good news for farmers. Yes.
Sure. Right, Mr. Sharma, thanks a lot for your perspective. Again, just for the benefit of our viewers, we're only getting initial estimates from states of UP, MP and Rajasthan. States of Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, Bihar, Maharashtra, West Bengal are still doing the initial assessment of the damages that have been caused by these unseasonal rains. We'll, of course, continue to get the latest updates on that. With that, it's time now to slip into a very short break. But coming up next, we bring you insights from the G20 Sherpas meeting chaired by India's Sherpa, Amitabh Kant. Stay tuned.